Hey guys, and welcome to the second edition of Useless YouTube News. For those of you who are new, I'm gonna be a sarcastic bitch. Don't say I didn't warn ya. Oh dear god, we are off to a great start. Taylor Swift released a new music video for her song Bad Blood, which is allegedly about her feud with Katy Perry. The video was an instant success with its high-budget CGI and tons of female celebrity cameos, receiving 20.1 million views in the first 24 hours, beating Vevo's previous record held by Nicki Minaj's Anaconda, proving that the only force more powerful than male horniness is teenage girls. So stick that in your patriarchy and smoke it. Seriously, don't fuck with them. You saw what happened to Zayn and One Direction. Their tickets are half price on Groupon. They are not doing well. Unfortunately, the video ended up feeling like an extended intro scene to an action movie that never happened because there were too many intros. Some may say that the cameos were all about showing girl power, but let's be real. Taylor probably wanted to show Katy how many chick friends she has. She was all like, look how many female friends I have. That means I'm not a bitch. How many female friends do you have, Katy? Probably none. Probably just John Mayer, and that's it. Mad Max was a movie that happened. It was basically the man versions of Taylor's Bad Blood. I mean, there was action, and it also had Victoria's Secret models in it. It was basically a gratuitous man flick with blatant misogyny, masquerading as a poor attempt at a message of equality. But other than that, it was a good movie. It just seemed like it was dreamt up in the mind of a prepubescent male who thought it would be awesome if guys rode around with weapons and trucks, and there was this dude attached to a truck playing this loud music because it's awesome, even though none of the other vehicles could realistically have heard him playing from outside, while the ever-present threat of sandstorms loomed. For glory! For Sparta! Everything's hot and awful and deserty, but our hot chicks are unreasonably groomed and thin. The camera chooses to focus on them, generally just being useless and flailing around. Because, hey, we know our demographic. Thank God for one-armed Charlize Theron, am I right, Jezebel? At least she wasn't a conventionally attractive Hollywood female who used to be a model. Oh wait. But this movie was kind of like coming out. If you can sit through to the end of it, it gets better. Troye Sivan has a new song out. It's a collaboration with Zedd, Z-E-D-D, called Paper Cut, and he sounds amazing. As if being an actor and dominating YouTube wasn't enough. Is he single? No, he's dating Tyler Oakley. This just in, conspiracy plots to murder Tyler Oakley. No, I'm just kidding. But it's okay because Tyler Oakley tweeted Justin Bieber and Justin Bieber tweeted him back so they can run off together into the sunset and live happily ever after. And Troy will be single, and I will be there for him, wiping his tears and keeping them in a jar. What? Speaking of what, Miley Cyrus has stated that she identifies as genderqueer. What? My first reaction to this was to think, what do you think genderqueer means? Why are you just claiming this now? Let's take a step back to high school when girls used to say they were bisexual to get attention from guys. Now, I'm not saying that this is what Miley's doing, but it's really easy to have a cushy, privileged life, not to mention in one of the most sexually liberal places on the planet, and say you're genderqueer right now because suddenly it's trendy. But, as it turns out, Miley is now rumored to be dating a chick. And I mean, hey, Lindsay Lohan did this ages ago, like a long time ago, when she dated that DJ named Samantha Ronson. Speaking of female celebrities dating other females, apparently is a thing now, Kristen Stewart is allegedly dating her assistant, who is female. But the twist is, it was her mother who broke the exclusive, not Kristen herself. Kristen could have made a big deal about this whole thing and gotten a lot of attention for it, but she didn't say anything. Although Kristen has previously stated that she views sexuality as fluid, I mean, a lot of people say that. It's like, put your money where your mouth is. Put a vagina where your mouth is. Okay, moving on. Willem has a new video embracing thick thighs, and by default thick booties, which I am all for, and always will be. If you haven't seen This Boy's a Bottom, you should. That video is funny, and now this song is actually danceable. Now, moving on with what is turning out to be the gayest newscast ever. Bruce Jenner has revealed his new name is Caitlyn. This is gonna get a little heavy, so bear with me. There have been people calling for Caitlyn to lose her Olympic medals and awards that she won as a man because she is no longer the same identity or something, and is therefore not the person who won them. So if Bruce had legally changed his name but had remained a man, he would have a different identity, but everyone suddenly wants her stripped of her medals because he is now a she, and she has the same soul she's always had, she has the same memories and the same feelings, she just looks different on the outside. Stripping of her medals will do so little to make a difference in the lives of the people who want them stripped, there is literally no reason other than pure narrow-minded fear. Take that, you gender bender. You lose your medals because we think your lifestyle is gross and you make us uncomfortable. Some people have gone as far as to compare Caitlyn to Rachel Dolezal, that white chick who pretended to be black and fight for black causes, which don't even get me started on that, which is so incredibly offensive on so many levels. Trans people are not deceiving people. Gender dysphoria has been a medically recognized thing for decades. When people transition, they are becoming how they feel inside. And this Rachel person has allegedly been a compulsive liar for most of her life, and actually deceived people and lied to people about who her parents were and everything about her life to further her own agenda. That is not what trans people do. Trans people struggle through adversity and conflict on how they feel on the inside and how society tells them they should be. What they do is to make them feel okay with themselves, regardless of other people. Now let's talk about the gay community for a second. Without even needing to venture into the straight world for criticism, gays are judging Caitlyn too. Oh surprise, a judgmental gay. Accusations of fame whoring, Kardashian tertiary, being photoshopped, and again, welcome to being a celebrity woman, you're doing it right. And also, hey all you gays out there, your photos aren't exactly untouched if you know what I mean. And in making her transition into a reality show, which is what she was doing years before this as a man. So I'm not sure what the problem is there. Dear gay community, let's have a talk. Whether you like it or not, Caitlyn is one of us now. And by us I mean LGBT and other letters. This was supposedly a community built on acceptance. People seem so sure that Caitlyn is getting undeserved attention, and that what she's doing isn't enough, or that because she has money she can't be a good spokesperson for the trans community. We haven't even given her a chance and we've already decided what she will and will not do. Coming out with the truth of your life is one of the hardest things that an individual will ever have to do. She will and already has brought huge awareness to the issue as a whole. Now, some people rant about how we shouldn't be paying attention to this because there are more important things that we should be focusing on. Solar energy projects, famine, overpopulation, pollution. Yes, these are things that are bad and should be talked about. But that doesn't mean we can't celebrate one victory on the road to a better world. We still have time to worry about those other things. But if every time someone accomplished something, we all sat around going, but what about Africa? What about the polar ice caps? You don't deserve to be talked about because there's pollution in the world. We would never get anywhere. I promise you, pollution isn't going anywhere, and neither are political scandals. But right now, let someone have their moment. The problem is that this is a gender rights issue combined with a Hollywood entertainment story, which is why it's getting so damn much coverage. It's a spectacle, and it sells magazines, but it also affects a lot of people meaningfully. That is going to get more people's attention right now, I'm sorry, but that is how popular media works. I promise she's not doing it to distract you from whatever the government's conspiracy you think going on right now is. This is just a combination of a public figure who many people knew and loved in the past, doing something that is not only shocking and unexpected, but also relevant to a lot of topical things right now. If pollution sold magazines, it would be getting coverage too. But it doesn't, because it's fucking depressing and people are tired of being depressed all the time. All of these people putting down Caitlyn's story in the name of better causes are so horribly misguided, this whole thing just rings as poorly justified homophobia, whether the people saying these things realize it or not. What about when we first achieved anything as a society? What about when African Americans first gained equal rights? Did everyone say, fine, who cares about poverty in third world countries? If you want people to pay attention to other issues you think are important, then help make people listen. Don't just sit around and bitch about other people getting attention. Don't do it by putting down someone else's cause. And don't justify your homophobia with a shitty excuse for good intentions. That's all for tonight, and this has been another YouTube newscast.